Hey guys, it's Blaze. We're back with another one. Today we are on another D&D story where I tell you all about a character I have made, their backstory, their life, everything about them, as much as I can, sharing with you the ideas I have made, and without further ado, let's get in the video. Alright people, we're back with another one. This is another D&D video. I know last video it was like really short and sweet, the shortest one I've had in the saga, but Zara's got a really short story so she can blend in with almost any campaign. It also doesn't help that she was based really off of Matness. So if you watch Zara's video, you probably should watch Matness's video. Anyways, enough said about that. We are here with Misery today, and before we get too in depth with it, I think I should start the music, which is just leaving off from Zara's video, which is almost like the 10-minute marker, and I was like, that's sad. It didn't even hit 10 minutes, the music. Oh, I feel so bad. Anyways, so how I got this image. It's another one based off of an image. So is one of the ones after this, but the Goblin isn't based off of an image. But yeah, we got two more videos after Misery. Misery was going to be the last video I was going to make for this saga, but then I remembered I had two others I completely forgot about, and so we're gonna do those after this. And yeah, so Misery. Misery's got a great story. I like how I wrote her story. It's kind of interesting. I think it's great. Some people might be like, how are you going to incorporate her into a D&D campaign? But I have ideas. But yeah, just like Zara, I found this image. I actually found it on a thumbnail for something. I don't remember what the video was about, but I saw the thumbnail and was just like, you know what? This picture gives me an idea for a character, and if you all know who this is, let me know, because I have no idea. I just liked the character, or whoever it is, and I thought I'd make a character that looks like her, you know? So this image right here is the image I found off of that thumbnail. I forget what the video was, or titled. I didn't watch it, I was just like, ooh, that's a pretty thumbnail, and I was like, I like this image. So this is what Misery looks like. Blue hair, red garb and stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, for some reason when I saw this image, I thought of like a battle princess. Like a princess who wasn't really acting like a princess, but a princess who fights. And I was like, this is going to be fun to make. I think this would be a great character to run. So, yeah. So I guess before I get to the backstory, you're gonna find out real fast that she's royalty, so that's why there's a castle in the background. I'd imagine this is kind of where she lives and stuff, so there's that. But yeah, let's just dive right into the backstory. I know we're just kind of blasting through these at this point, but it's like, hey, don't knock it, you know? But anyways, Misery's got a longer backstory than Zara. And I'm probably gonna have to explain some more things than I did in Zara's, but Misery, or rather known as Dawn Clover. So her name is Dawn, her last name's Clover. She grew up in Clover Castle. So that instantly tells you she's royalty, because the castle's named after their last name. As the second heir to the throne, Dawn was the only princess to the Clover name with 3 brothers. So, the Clovers had 4 children, and she was the second born. So, the first son's gonna get the, crown, and then she's the second heir, and then she has 2 brothers underneath her. So growing up with 3 brothers made her life different from other princesses, because she wanted to be like them. See, she was supposed to, princesses, they're like pretty and they have to be with class and whatnot. She didn't want that life. She didn't want the life of a typical princess. So she tried her best to get the life she wanted. So, however, Dawn wanted to do was be like her brothers. And even though her mother didn't like it, her father agreed eventually. She also could use the training. He was under the impression that everyone should be trained to an extent so they could protect themselves from, danger. So he was all for it to some degree. She just wanted to go full, She just kept continuing after he would have said stop, But by the time she got to that point, he's just like, you know what? It's whatever. But yeah, she got permission to go train like her brothers. So Dawn trained hard and long. And, yeah, the art of swordsmanship. Eventually, over the years, by the time, just skipping years, she's trained and trained and trained to get better and better. Eventually, her father steps down with, her mother and stuff. And it's like, who's going to take the crown? Well, her brother, first of all, because he's the first heir. So her brother takes the crown. But he's noticed because he's trained with Misery, or rather Dawn. He's trained with Dawn so much that he respects her fighting ability more than other people's. So he's got all these people he could select for a general, and he's going to select his sister. So for the first time in history for this is way back, probably, it's medieval era. So if this is like unheard of, but he made his sister the general. And Dawn was so fierce in battle, everyone gave her a nickname, Misery, for causing foes such misery. So she's so skilled and stuff, when she goes to fight people, she's makes their life miserable, so they gave her the nickname Misery. However, Misery did have a soft spot. She would show mercy to those worthy of it. So she's not merciless, but she is a heck of a fighter. Now, you might be wondering is how she joined the party, because, well, she's royalty. She's in a castle, she's the general. How does the general of an army join a party? That makes no sense, right? Well, they needed someone tough enough to go on this big mission. They were needing information from, from all points about the world, many points. Probably get into that bigger detail whenever I actually play in a campaign. But they wanted someone to go off and get information from, specific people in specific places. They needed someone tough enough to go do it. And they decided to send her. Because she's tough enough to do it. She's surely trained enough to go do it. I mean, she's a deadly warrior. It's like, if you saw her, you wouldn't want to fight her. I mean, just think about it. So, the youngest brother became the 10th general because the third brother, the third heir to the throne, is with a wizard training to be a wizard one day. In hopes that he can assist the king with his wisdom. Because, every king has a wizard they always consult. He wants to be that wizard. Since, he's third to there, he's like, I'm never going to get the crown. So he's like, I want to do this. That way I can help the crown, And then the fourth brother, he's by this point he's not really old enough to make any plans yet. Probably in a few years. But since they're sending Dawn off, or rather Misery, he takes her place temporarily. And while she's away, he can figure out what he wants to do. Maybe he wants to help, with the army. But that's essentially it for her backstory. a bit longer than Zara's, of course, but I think it's way interesting. Her backstory and all that, being royalty, and then eventually joining a party, and it's like no one knows she's royalty, or if they do and they're just scared of her, it's like, think about it, it's like, dang. But yeah, so that's Misery for you, and let's get to the character sheet. I know what her class is, but I don't remember what race I chose. And I was waiting till I got, yeah, I figured this is the race I chose. So this video is definitely gonna be longer than Zara's because I have to look something up, and I'm going to share something with you. There's homebrew in this. There's homebrew. So, if you remember Sage, I've mentioned her a few times. I said I wasn't gonna make a video for her because I didn't care for the character. Well, I didn't really care for the campaign, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I liked it, it's just not my cup of tea. There are certain campaigns you like better than others, and then some it's like, eh. You know what I mean? There it is. This is where. Hey. So, Sage. Why I'm mentioning Sage again is, well, Sage was a chemist. That's how I got to try out chemist. I mentioned that in Yeon's video. Why am I mentioning Sage again in this video? Well, she had a homebrew race that I made that I think is great. And I think it's a great class. So I'm going to share it with you all. If you, class, a great race that I think you all will enjoy. It's called Platora. 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 So, a humanoid that lives with poisonous plants on their body, mainly on the face. They also have great connection to nature. So, if it's not your cup of tea, well, that's fine. You don't have to use it. But if you want to use it, here it is. Call it Platora. No one's made this. I came up with the name. I came up with all this. Of course, they're, a humanoid, medium. As for their age is like a human, but lives up to like 110. So kind of a human, just a little extended lifespan. Walking speed, of course, is 30 feet. Languages to pick common and one of your choice. And then we get to the things I really made, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 things. And it's like, that you might think, oh, that's a lot. They're little things that add up neat. It's like this race, it's like, honestly, when you play D&D, it's like, it's like a dragonborn can breathe fire and attacks like that. That's probably more useful than Platora, I'm going to be honest with you. But a Platora is neat. If you want a build based on plants, Platora is the race for you. That's all I gotta say. But anyways, as for their abilities, the first one's plant vision. So instead of dark vision, they do not have dark vision. Platora does not have dark vision. Instead of dark vision, they have plant vision. You always know where plants and nature is. So if you're blind, you still can see where all the plants and nature are. So if you walk to a cave, you can't see. There's no dark vision. But say there's some, like, vines growing on the wall or moss growing in the cave. You can see that. So it's like, oh, there's a wall there because there's moss on the wall. You can see the moss, but you can't see in the dark. And then you have Herbalism Master. You have proficiency with herbalism kits and know almost everything when it comes to herbalism. And then you have communication with plants. You can talk with plants and nature. So I never used that when I was using Sage, because I always forgot about it, but you can speak with plants. Actually, no, I used it once towards the very end of the campaign, now that I think about it. Nature connection. You have proficiency with nature, and then you have poisonous for life. You live with poisonous plants on you, so when someone touches you, they get poisoned. You also are immune to poison, so if a Platora touches a Platora, nothing happens. But if anyone else touches one, poison. That's probably the most useful thing to have. That's Platora for you. So that's what Sage was when I keep talking about Sage. And that is also what Mercy is. So the entire royal family is Platoras. And I think that's interesting. I think it's great. I think that's a fun little gimmick you could, you know, throw at the royalty family. So, really, I said, you know, like, moss or something grows on them. So in this picture, it's like, it's probably on our Lego stuff, because I said, it's normally on the face, but it's not always on the face. So, it was on Sage's face. It looked kind of like her cheeks was green all the time, kind of thing. But for Misery's sake, we're going to have it on, like, her thigh or something. So it doesn't really change her appearance all that much, but it is there. However, if you touch her skin, you still get poisoned. But yeah, I think that makes Misery all the more interesting, being a Platora. I think that's great. So she is a Platora fighter. I hadn't even said her stats yet. It's a good thing there's no spells or anything to share. But yeah, I think Misery is really interesting, and I think it's going to be fun playing a Platora fighter. Anyways, I'm just getting a little bit off topic. Let's get to the stats, and then I'll say the goodbyes and all that. So for level 4, so I got brutally interrupted with the ad, but anyways, as I was saying, she is a level 5, just like I've been saying in multiple videos to all these new characters that I have yet to play, because I've never played Misery, but I'm excited to. They're level 5, so for the sake of the video, she's level 5. So she has 45 HP, 16 AC, 30 movement speed. Her modifiers, 16 in strength, dex, and con, 11 in intelligence, 12 in wisdom, 16 in charisma. Saving throws are core strength and constitution. Proficiencies are in history, intimidation, nature, perception, and persuasion. She does have chainmail. Doesn't really look like chainmail, but good enough. It's fine. Don't know why there's some spells on there, because she can't cast spells. Oh, it might be because of the type of... I guess I'll say what the spells are because of the type of fighter I chose. So detect magic and protection from evil and good, which are level 1 spells. I don't even know what the spellcasting stat would be for her. Spell save. Probably charisma, maybe? I don't know. But her weapons are 2 hand axes, a rapier, and a longsword. She's going to use the longsword mainly, but she does have a rapier just in case, and 2 hand axes. She's always prepared for battle. As for the type of fighter she is, before I forget, because I'm forgetful sometimes, I chose Monster Hunter for her. Because she's a general, so she goes out and hunts monsters and whatnot. And now that she's on her own, she hunts monsters on the side as she goes through her journey. So she is a monster hunter. So I feel like this is a wonderful character, and it's going to be a lot of fun playing her. And I hope you all build a character similar to this and have fun playing it, or build a different character and have fun playing that. That's all I'm here for, is ideas. Yeah, so that's it for Misery. Not much to really go on. I explained Misery to the bone, pretty much. I don't think I missed anything at all. That just leaves off with next video is one of the two that I forgot about. Because this was going to be the last one, but there's two more now. So the next one is the goblin that I had already made. I just forgot to write a backstory for him because he was a backup character. I'm not getting into his, story right now, but his name is Snargle Screech. And I say that because Snargle was a goblin I made, and Screech was a goblin I made. I just kind of fused the two. But, so, yeah, we're just gonna go with Screech. So, we'll talk about Screech tomorrow. And, it's gonna be fun. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed Misery, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out. Thank you all for watching. This is Blaze. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe this will inspire you to make your own D&D character, somewhat like what I've made, or something completely different. Maybe it just inspired you to play D&D. Whatever the case, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.